Well, hey everyone, welcome to week 6 of The Good Life. Here's your group's Sunday recap. This week we focused on Matthew chapter 5, verse 8. It said, "Blessed are the pure, for they will see God." Jesus is making this whole list of he's saying if you live life like this, then God will bless it. It has nothing to do with your circumstances or your platform or your Instagram followers, and it has everything to do with your attitude, the way you see the world, and your heart, the way you treat people and the way that you treat God. And he said, "Blessed are the pure, for they will see God." Now, as Jewish listeners would have understood that, you can't actually see God. Everybody understood that if you were ever in the presence of God, he was so holy and so different that you would just drop dead. You cannot handle being in the presence of God. In fact, there's this one episode with Moses where he's just in the presence of God and he comes down from his mountaintop experience literally glowing. He had to wear a veil. People couldn't even look at him. He was like a glow-in-the-dark patriarch. It was crazy. And Jesus says, if you actually live purely, then you will see God. In fact, Jesus made it possible for us to see God. It says Jesus is the perfect embodiment of who God is. Jesus put on flesh so you and I could see God. And he says it's the pure that get to have that relationship. Now, when it comes to spiritual purity, there's all kinds of landmines and baggage and things that are hard to talk about. So often when we think about purity, we think of something that used to be clean and used to be nice and used to be perfect. And then because we used it, it got scuffed and scratched and dented. And sometimes we can feel like that in the eyes of God. Like we used to be young and we used to be naive and we used to be very, very pure. And then we lived life and then we blew up that relationship or had that really hard conversation or decided that we believed something that was different than what we grew up with, and it feels corrupted now. And the idea of getting back to good with God seems overwhelming. And we're going to read in John chapter 8 this interaction that Jesus has with one of the most vulnerable people in the world at her very lowest moment, and the way he receives her tells us so much about the way he understands purity. You see, spiritual purity is a gift we receive, not a reward that we earn. It's not like when you were born in your life, you're handed this purity, and as soon as you scratch it, it's over. It's lost its value. As soon as you bruise it, as soon as you dent it, there's just no getting it back. In fact, what it means to be in Christ is that the way God sees Jesus is the way he sees us. So the way God sees Jesus' love is the way he sees our love. The way God sees Jesus' performance is the way he sees our performance. The way God sees Jesus' future and Jesus' purity is how he sees our future and our purity. He sees us like he sees Jesus. He's given that to us as an incredible gift. And so today we want to talk about understanding the weight of that gift, being inspired by that gift, and living in light of the fact that Jesus has given us his purity so that we can live as fellow brothers and sisters in Christ. So excited for the conversation that you're going to have tonight. Really hope that you'll dig in, you'll open up, you'll be honest, because this is a place where you can be you and allow God to grow you into who he wants you to be. Thanks so much for being here. Enjoy groups.